What's up everybody, welcome to my channel. In this tutorial series we're going to be creating backend in Node.js and without using any third-party libraries. In this specific video I'm going to show you how to get the URL path so that you can work with the data more precisely. You'll know what the user is asking for. So let's get started. Now let's create some comments here so we know what we're doing. By the way, when we make the server here and have it listen on the port 5000, it has the callback function which gets two parameters. First one is request. We didn't talk about that yet, but the response is that we send to the user, and that's gonna be displayed on a screen. Today we're gonna be working a little bit with this request. We get the URL and parse it, get the URL and parse it. Next thing we're going to do is to get the path and trim it. Next thing is just send the response, and lastly let's console out the path. Great, here we just send this response for today, but in the further tutorials we're going to be changing that according to what the user asking for, what resources the users are asking for. Okay, first we should get the URL and parse it. To do that we have a nice library which is built in Node.js, and that is URL. We just assign it to URL variable and require it here. We say URL. Now we have assigned URL library to URL variable. Okay, let's get the URL, which is parsed, of course. Okay, var parsed URL equals to URL.parse. This is a function that takes two parameters. First one is the actual URL object, and the second one is true/false value. Which means if we make it true, it takes the query strings and makes its own object. Wait. What's a query string? You might have wondered. So query string is the string that we have after the slashes. Okay, I don't want to make it like scientific or... Now what you see on your screen is a query string that is highlighted in red. Now you might have seen this before. If you go to pages like Google Translate, you might see something like this, or if you go to YouTube you might see something like this one. This is also query string. Now if we make this true, it takes this query string. I mean, obviously there might be more query strings than only one, so makes them like an object as you are right now seeing on your screen. This is just an explanation I'm doing while I'm editing this video, so let's get back to the tutorial. If you don't do this, it doesn't make the query string as an object. We get the parsed URL. Now let's get the path, actual path. For example, if you hit localhost 5000 and /users, the path is here, the users. If you enter localhost 5000 users books, the path is here users/books or whatever. Now let's get that. Okay, var path equals to parsed URL dot path name, and it is gonna be that one. But when we get the path, if you test it out yourself, you get slashes or 4 slashes at the beginning and at the end of this path string. So let's get it trimmed. We create another variable which is trimmed path, and we just use string replacement method here. Path.replace makes this path. It uses some sort of regex to just remove the slashes. I'm just gonna copy and paste the regex syntax, as it's usually boring and difficult to understand. You just don't need to write it yourself, just copy this one. I'll also put it in the description. Now here we are sending the response, but let's console out what the path is. Console.log and we just trim it. We just console out the trim it pass. Now let's run this on our terminal. I just say node index.js and hit enter. It says I'm listening on port 5000 now. We go to our browser and we say localhost 5000 and we hit enter. It says hello world, which is the response we have sent below there, but the trim it pass is here. It says favicon.ico because this localhost 5000 is requiring just getting the favicon here, but when we enter /users and hit enter, as you can see, we get users as well. Just don't worry about this favicon.ico. It's simple thing, but pay attention to this one. And for example, we put the slash again. Let's put it 10 times or 11 times and hit enter. It just gets this user's string. And we, for example, enter books and slash, it gets users / and books. Which means it doesn't get the slashes at the beginning and at the end of this pass string. It just trims out. That's basic thing. So we now know how to parse the URL. We know how to get the pass, and we also know how to trim it. And we're just consoling out what the trim it pass is. So this is it for this tutorial, guys. If you want to show your respect, please like this video and share it with your friends. If you are new to this channel, please subscribe and hit that notification bell so you won't miss anything. See you guys in the next video.